Hi everybody, I'm Ruchika Bindra, and on today's episode of #NoFilter, we are talking about teens and millennial fitness. Stay tuned, everybody. Across Toronto and the GTA, I am Ruchika Bindra, and thank you once again for tuning in to #NoFilter. I'm very excited today. Our topic that a lot of millennials have been asking me from last season to this season is this idea of fitness and where it stands amongst all the media notions and the media views about fitness, health, from celebrities to our own personal idea of what we think being fit actually means and what it requires. With us today, later on in the show, we will have the amazing co-founders from My Cure Fitness. We have Dr. Placid Paul and James Gani as well. They will be helping us debunk some of the myths, understanding really what it means when we talk about fitness from a base, holistic point of view. And we'll talk a little bit about why they founded this concept of My Cure and what it really is. So, teen panelists, I'm going to take a second to introduce them. I'm really excited to have them on. They're always great in helping us kind of get their viewpoint on the topic. Today we have Shingo and Claire. Hello, guys.
Hello.
And I could not run my show without my fabulous co-host, Cass. Hi, Cass.
Hi, Ruchika. So as she said, the whole show is going to be on health and fitness. So if you have any questions or comments, make sure to tweet us at @NoFilterRogers, and we'll be sure to answer your question.
Thanks, Cass. We'll check in with you in a little bit. So, guys, this idea of fitness today is something so discussed. I find that the more and more I meet people that are younger, girls even that are 13 and guys that are 10 and 11, are talking about kind of body images, and, you know, what they want to look like and the kind of view they have in their mind. When you guys look at fitness today versus before, has your idea of it changed a little bit?
I think definitely, yeah, just because especially like the media exposure of fitness and how it's changed so much from the past. Now it's people not so much working out to be physically fit, but also to make their appearance more acceptable to everyone else. So it's not just working out for themselves, but it's working out to please other people.
Claire, I know you do a really tough form of working out every week. It's not just the treadmill like
Yeah.
I do, but what do you do?
So I actually play in the National Ringette League, so that entitles me having sometimes 3 practices a week, sometimes 2 to 3 games on the weekends, and I try as much as possible to work out every day of the week. So I go to the gym at school. I try to go for at least an hour, try and get a couple exercises in. So it's pretty demanding, but that's how I've grown up. I've always grown up being really physically fit and just kind of pushing myself to my limits and playing a bunch of different sports. And now I've narrowed it down to one sport, and I've also tried to do many things in school, and like at the gym I try and kind of test my abilities and push myself. So yeah, it's been really fun.
That's really amazing. Some of us struggle to even go like 3 days. I'm like arguing with James. I'm like 3, 4, come on, give me a day's pass off. So I think it's great that you're able to find something that you don't feel like you're working out, right? But
Yeah.
do you do it because you have a specific goal in mind? Is it weight oriented? Is it more fitness oriented? Is it just because you enjoy playing sports? What was your motive when you went into it?
Yeah, well, I feel like for me it's a lot different just because I started at a very young age staying really consistently fit and just doing it so often compared to like other people who maybe it's more difficult for them. They have to push themselves to go and get physical and go to the gym and work out just to stay like physically fit. But for me it's just been normal. Sorry, I fully forgot what you were asking me.
I was asking you your motivation into going into
Yeah, so my motivation
sport.
has mainly been my sport. So I want to push myself to the highest level that I can get to, and that's really been successful for me, and I have seen plenty of results. I've really tried hard. I've gone to the gym. I've seen increasements and improvements in my own body, and just seeing that motivates me so much to go and keep doing it consistently every day. And I see results in my practices, in my games, and that just really motivates me to go out and push myself and just to go as far as I can.
So I guess your motivation for succeeding in a game, I think it's a lot more effective than just going for an appearance or just going for like a fit body to please the view of others, right?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Because me personally, I do it so I can improve through my sport, and so I can see like physical improvements in like my body and my strength, not so much my appearance. So I guess that's different on my side, because I know many millennials today, they don't have, especially girls, I don't want to put the stereotype on girls that we don't play a lot of sports, but we are seeing that mainly girls might go to the gym not so they can see physical improvements in their strength as women, but more to like get that like slim, thick appearance, and so
there's a notion created around for women, fitness has become it's become the cool thing to do. A lot of it's funny you say that. A lot of girls I was talking to today, they're like, well, it's also a cool activity, like on the weekdays to go with my friends and work out and let's meet post our meet guys at our gym. Let's post our workout, sort of moves and get workout. In fact, workout fashion wear has become one of the #1 selling industries to get into.
That's true.
It's no longer just high fashion. Between high fashion and mainstream teenage wear, millennials are buying the most form of active wear, whether it's Lululemon or, Nike, whatever it is. They're getting into this sort of, it's a fashion. What are you wearing to the gym? And I think things like that take away from understanding our bodies from a root level and really taking it down to what it needs, what it's missing, what it's depleted in, and how our bodies need to kind of function and work, right? You may not be working certain muscles all day. And so the first time you use it at the gym, you're like, oh, this feels odd. And it's because you haven't used it, maybe sometimes for even years and periods of time.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I don't know. I feel like for me, myself, working out has always been, if it's always been for myself, then it's always been a bit of a chore. But back then, a year ago as well, I used to be on a rugby team. So having that sort of expectation of I have to do this amount to win a game, or have that expectation of I have to do this for my teammates or else we'll be able to even run the ball forward or tackle somebody down. Definitely that had just some sort of impact. But again, overall, like, it definitely takes a lot of more self-motivation or peer pressure from people around you to work out for your own appearance, for others' appeals. Right. Definitely, that's what I feel.
Do you feel like that's more challenging for men versus women?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Probably in the social media terms, like, women are a lot more pressured into getting that sort of perfect slim shape. But that doesn't mean like all men are sort of somewhat pressured either. Like we see like sort of these perfect bodies in like TV shows, sitcoms, even movies, anything like that. Just online, even some of the magazines and the models they use. They're not exactly muscular, but they certainly are like slim and nicely like thought out. So it's something.
And as much as women are looking for a certain ideal of what's marketed to them of how we should look, I find men have that too. Yeah. Everyone who's lean wants to be bigger built, who's bigger built wants to be toned. Yeah. So we're going to look at this idea of what does holistic mean when it comes to understanding your body, and we're going to check in with what GTA in Toronto is saying with Cassandra on the other side of the break. Keep watching #NoFilter, everyone. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to #NoFilter. I am Rachika Bindra, and today we are talking about millennials, fitness, and really understanding your body from the base level up. Cassandra, I know we've been getting a whole bunch of tweets, so go ahead and pick one.
So as millennials, we don't have that much time to be working out, and we have like school, we have stress, we have part-time jobs. Like, I'm so impressed that Claire has the time to be doing all these sports and 3 practices a week. So we got in a question from Taylor. It says, can simple things like taking the stairs and eating more veggies improve health just as much as hitting the gym or dieting? So I think he's asking in regards to all millennials. They might not have the time to be going to the gym as often as Claire is, or can little things in your life, like what's your best advice?
Okay, so my opinion, and we can obviously ask James and Dr. Placid when he comes on as well this question. I think you make the time for things that you want. I'm just going to start off by saying that, and I know it sounds very idealistic, but health is all you have. It's the number one thing you have that leaves you in life. Between your career, between your family, your health is something that only you can control, and it's only something that stays with you. It's something more people say, oh, I don't have control on so many things in my life. Besides, diseases and infections that unfortunately you can't combat, you can control the overall state of your health, right? By actually taking time into it. So looking at it from that point of view, I don't think working out should be something that's we deem as sort of a chore, or we deem as something that's an option. I think if we integrate it into our lives, as we integrate studying for an exam, or we integrate heading on time for work, it becomes natural. And I can say this from personal experience. I used to be somebody who did not like the gym. I did not like working out at all. And I realized that it wasn't so much about body, but it was something that I needed not only for stress, but for my own personal strength, well-being. And of course, the added physical benefits, I wouldn't mind like a few pounds, but gone or melted away. But at the same time, I've made it a part of my schedule. And I feel bad when I don't go now. So I think things like the stairs and veggies and stuff, these things can help. But having a organized program, a controlled form of your lifestyle, what do you need to eat, what vitamins, what supplements, what are you missing in your body, having those discussions with your doctor, with yourself, analyzing what your body's missing. I think that's what's more important than finding small things. I think starting with really taking a step back, and with the holidays coming and the new year, that's a great project. Sit down and really look at your body, not just from I'm going to sign the gym, but from what am I missing? Why is my energy low? Why is it really high at certain times of the day? What can I give my body? So guys, I know before the break we spoke about social media and its impact. I have been noticing more and more on Instagram that every third post I see is a sponsored post from, a protein shake or a protein bar or the 7-minute body workout challenge. And, you can get toned in 4 days. And the other day I saw six days to lose 6 pounds by doing the same core exercises. A part of me is almost not cynical, but a part of me is like, well, obviously millennials are believing it. That's why we have more and more of these promotions and posts. When you guys are out engaging with different people of your age, where are you guys seeing sort of the state of the impact that the media is having on such an important aspect of our life, like health?
Definitely there are sort of people that I have around me that definitely say, well, this protein shake definitely doesn't work, or I'm going to try out this new thing, or that's sort of, one of those crazy, as it says, outrage, doctors hate this treatment. They've banned it all across the province.
Dr. Oz.
Yeah, oh yeah. There's also
my favorite. He tells me a new way to lose weight every day, and it never works. But sorry, continue.
But just a little bit of fact, like Dr. Oz, some of the stuff some of the pills and some of the medications, well, not even that, but the vitamin pills that he promotes don't always do the things that they do. And he's actually been in a court once because he's said these false claims about these pills. But anyways, that's not
false advertising.
Yeah, false advertising. He got in a big deal of trouble for that.
Yeah.
But definitely, what I see is that they're a lot more self-aware. Like they're a lot more aware that they. Like, even if they look good, they're like, oh, I'm fat, or oh, I'm
We're very hard on ourselves.
Yeah. Like, we see all these examples and all those posts, like every third post is like, oh, get this. It almost tells you, like, you're getting fat, you need to work out. And you're like, oh, I don't know. And they just keep on pressing it in your face. You almost feel pure pressure to judge yourself so harshly.
It's a media pressure more than a peer pressure now, right? It's turned into we live, and I always say this on our show especially, and I think that's one of the reasons why #NoFilter came in its origin, is because we are so consumed with what's happening around us, and we're in this in sort of this reality we think we've created, which is impacted with things like social media and our friends and TV shows and celebrities, and we're capturing every moment of their life, and we begin to think it's true, and a lot of people are like, well, movie stars don't slim down and slim up and gain weight and debulk, in 6 months for a film, and a lot of people don't realize that that's what they do 24 hours a day. If 24 hours a day I had a trainer and I was on an extremely reduced diet, I would probably be able to get my 6-pack abs, if all I'm having is if you're under a watch and that's what you do, that's your craft, it's a different way.
Yeah.
For most of us that are living very real lives, we need to start with understanding our body on the base level. And I think that's one of the reasons why when I came across My Cure Fitness, I really liked that it was something where they took the time to explain your body. They kind of took the time to make you realize, like, this isn't a quick 6 days, or 6-month boot camp. It's not a summer fit kind of concept. You need to start integrating health into your everyday life.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I was just going to say, tying into that, especially because, like, as millennials, we're so cut for time. Like, we're in school, we have part-time jobs, families, social lives. We're trying to get everything balanced out. That is when we take those kinds of shortcuts and we go online. How can I get my quick summer bod right before the summer? We're taking these dieting pills. Like there's all these kind of different remedies that are available to us, and that's why we're going online and doing these like quick little workouts, and we're taking shortcuts when we should be going and having a consistent routine, even though that is difficult to do. But it comes hand in hand, like you were talking about before, the question that was tweeted to us by one of our viewers, that is it okay just to eat healthy and maybe to not do as much physical fitness? But I think they definitely come hand in hand. I think we can't just eat healthy and then not do anything to burn off the food that we're eating and to not gain any muscle mass, because if we're eating a lot, that's not going to benefit us, even if we're eating well. We have to balance them out. We have to be physical, and we have to also eat well. So they come hand in hand.
And not only that, just like you said, we need to get our body moving. Like, you
Yeah.
probably have muscles and bones that you haven't stretched in forever, or like your posture. I sit at a desk most of the time. My posture has become terrible, right? So getting those back exercises, using your body in ways that you haven't, and it's such a good de-stressor. I find if I've had a rough day, or, I've had a long day, I work out at the gym and I leave, even if I didn't give it my all, because, my head is not there, just getting my body moving, getting those positive endorphins going through my body. I feel the change by the time I'm home. I feel that energy increase, of course.
But about that tweet, my personal belief is that...
On the other side of the break, we will get back to your tweet, but we will be back. And on our other side of the break, we will be having with us Dr. Placid and James from My Cure Fitness. See you all, everybody. I have with me the founders of My Cure Fitness. Hello, James and Dr. Paul. Welcome. Thanks, guys, for coming on the show. I think it's a really important topic, and it's great to have I found it such a different concept when I came in to check out My Cure Fitness. So I'm going to start with the basic. Why don't you both tell me a little bit about your background and why you kind of went into forming this holistic fitness center?
So I think about 12 years ago, I started getting into fitness. It's been a very long and arduous journey where I'm like going through a learning process of, what works, what doesn't work. Started out as a personal thing, and I kind of thought that, it really helped me out on so many levels, and not just a personal, body image in a way. It was just permeated through all of life. And so when I was experiencing this, I was just like, why isn't everyone else sharing this? And so I had to kind of take it out, because it was something about just, making sure everyone understands what this can do.
So what's your background, James?
I did my neuroscience and health studies in the University of Toronto, and then after that, just did a plethora of work, different fields, and ended up working in a big box gym.
Yep.
And what I found was that it was missing kind of the EQ factor. Do you know what I mean? When it comes to getting people motivated on not just like, lift this weight for this many reps, for, and not just including that, but going beyond and kind of incorporating lifestyle, incorporating how they can, attribute their lifestyle to the gym and whatnot, right?
Because fitness is such a personal thing, right?
Yeah,
it's also
exactly.
so different for everybody. Not everyone's going to have the same kind of reaction to it, and their body is also not going to react the same way. So I think getting the base level understanding of what you need is probably the best thing to start, which most places we've kind of got into this busy world where we just like, okay, sign up to the gym, okay, work out, okay, give me my plan, okay, head out, okay, we're in this sort of speeding process where we're not really understanding what are we doing, what are we working on, the most important part, which is our body. So Dr. Paul, you have sort of your doctor degree, because you're a doctor. So what was your input in My Cure Fitness, and why did you kind of take some time out of your general practice into this concept?
Well, firstly, just my medical background. I was getting into a position where I was seeing a lot of conditions, because I was initially doing surgery.
Okay.
Where a lot of the conditions that I saw in orthopedics, people could have prevented with general fitness and health, right? And also my background in undergraduate, which is the time that I've known James here since, was focused on a lot of preventative health aspects.
Okay.
And obviously, it was my own personal interest too. You know, it was at a time when gymming was becoming a thing when we were in university. But right now, like you said, millennials are starting it in high school.
Yeah.
And earlier, yeah.
So I just felt that it was a good platform to affect health in the long-term sense of the word, right? And you know, with my personal relationship with James and our knowledge base, and also to counteract how much misinformation is out there, because if you turn anywhere, everybody seems to be an expert of some sort. So I thought, you know, apply some of the scientific principle to this sort of loose field, right, to get the best of us.
Can I ask you something? Can you, just out of my curiosity, what is some of that miscommunication, misinformation that you always hear about?
That's a really good question. So right now, so look, we're young enough to be millennials, but old enough to be at a time. Remember when you couldn't look up stuff as easily. Like when I was in high school. Yeah, when I was in high school, for example, there was just one dude who was taking the powders and was talking about sets and just looking extra jacked, and he was definitely on the fringe. But right now, look at my younger cousins, like he's like in grade 9. And he's hitting up the gym on Good Life summer program, right? So, and information's increasingly available and you're being targeted. So I could just Google, I don't know, how to get big, and you hear 10 different things. There'll be a pop-up for some supplement, and there'll be an Instagram post of some guy supposedly transforming himself in like 3 days. And you know, we just wanted to check
Debunk
that.
Right? Want to get those.
And most of the stuff that you actually are getting through your online media sources, social media. Skeptical in the sense that you have to understand, you get a question when you see something online, you're going to have to question that, you know, just because you're in front of a screen doesn't mean the computer is going to be talking to you only. Right? It's a very broad sense, and it's going to be information that they share there is going to come from, firstly, who are they promoting? Right? And when you notice that, are they really like not promoting anything, and is it just like information free for you to kind of decipher, or is it, do they have like at the end of the article, is there like, okay, now go to this link right here at Amazon and kind of get my supplementation and stuff, right? So it's always kind of a scope on everything you kind of see through just social media and just promoting things, right? And that's where we have to kind of sift through and find out where it's coming from.
And we also bring a lot of personal experience in this. Like, it comes from making a lot of mistakes ourselves, from being victims of misinformation.
Yeah, of course. Learn if you don't follow your
Exactly.
Like, why didn't somebody just tell me this 10 years ago?
Exactly, yeah.
Now we're here to learn.
You made a really good point on preventative health, and I want to get a little bit into that. But really quickly, I want to touch base with Cassandra. What are people tweeting in for My Cure Fitness?
Okay, so now that we have our experts on the show, I have a really important question from Taylor. He says, as a student, I deal with stress often. What are some healthy and easy ways to reduce the stress?
Work out. Sorry.
Get to the gym.
Hit the gym.
Do you want to answer first?
You know what? I think that a lot of problems where we associate the problems as in a middle-age problem are starting to show up at a younger and younger age. It didn't hit me. I didn't really understand the level of population that has back pain at 20 years old.
It's terrible.
Do you know what I mean? And so stress is along with that, right? When people say stress, it's not just a, it's not something, it's something new. It's not something that's always existed. It's the lifestyle that we started leading. So in order to cope with that, that's why fitness is so important, right? So, and just like you said, like, you know, get to the gym. And so it's not a one here, get to the gym, relieve all your stresses in life, but it's one of the ways that you can actually,
And then from a medical point of view, why is it that they say, like, you know, every time I talk to doctors, because everybody that knows me on the show and our viewers know I'm a hypochondriac. So every day I have something, and every time I walk into a doctor, I'm dying. So having gone to 20 million doctors by now, on the other side on the break, I want to ask you something in terms of from a medical point of view. What can actually things like working out do? What happens to your body when you start that? What are the transformations? You know, does it actually affect endorphins? People always say that, you know, these are things that we read. What are sort of from a more base root, like body molecular level, what is really happening? So on the other side of the break, we are going to debunk some of these questions and get answers from Dr. Paul from My Cure Fitness. Stay tuned, everybody. everybody. Thank you for watching #NoFilter. Before the break, we were asking Dr. Paul to explain us what it actually means when we start working out and what changes we can begin to see in our body, not just from the outside, but actually from the inside.
Look, that's a great question. I think, firstly, I'd just like to qualify that by saying, assuming you're doing a workout that is suitable to you and your circumstances, right? That's ideally, that's going to benefit you. And especially if you're coming from a place where you're otherwise sedentary, i.e. not that active, it essentially affects everything favorably, all right? So for example, if you're doing strength-based training, it'll strengthen your bones, increase the quality of your muscle, all right? It's been proven to show, for example, if somebody's clinically depressed, for example, it's been proven to show that exercise helps relieve some of the symptoms of that, right? So it's not just somebody saying get out and get some fresh air. Like there's been controlled studies that show that. So it can affect you mentally. And it's definitely been shown to improve your concentration. And if you then work out, people have been shown to get better sleep. So the main thing is that I do not see a negative side to it. The only time is when you sort of, just like anything in life, you get out of balance, right? So you got to find something that works for you.
An extreme.
Yeah, if something that works for you and with your lifestyle and your goals, then it's should be an essential part of your life, really.
And when you say, like, sort of you begin to see changes like your sleep, and I know I actually have a friend that was clinically depressed, and that's what she said. She said, I'm working out not to lose or gain weight or strength. She said, I'm just working out because it's supposed to release happy hormones or happy endorphins. Are these sort of things true?
Yes.
When people say things like that, okay, this is good, or the other day, you know, somebody said to the doctor, I'm always getting sick, I have the cold, and they're like, well, you know, your immune system can get stronger with the gym. How, though? How is me moving certain parts of my body affecting those sort of things?
So like you said, so the endorphins, for example, like another important component of that is that you actually have to enjoy it. So if for example, you hate lifting weights, that may actually be stressful for you, right? There has to be some level
So the polar opposite is going to happen now, reducing stress.
There's to be some level of enjoyment, right, to it, and which can be conditioned. Like you may hate it, but you eventually will start to like it. Like the runners will talk to you about a runner's high, right?
The satisfaction you get afterwards when your arms hurt or your legs hurt is like, I did that.
Yes.
Yeah. Like that.
Yeah. There's an accomplishment to going to the gym, right? And
so this is Sorry, go on.
No. It's just. When you were touching upon like what it does to people and how it changes positively on so many levels, see, one of the things that is almost tried and true and tested and it's always going to work is that when you lift something and you lift it long enough, you lift it for this many sets, your muscles for that specific activity is going to get stronger.
Yep.
Yeah. But one thing that I find is more and more true now, and I'm hearing it from a lot of clients nowadays, is that they're tired less. They are much more awake during the day. Like you said, they're sleeping more often, like longer, right? And so these are some things that I never knew that, you know, this is through trial and error and actually seeing it work on my clients as well. It's not just a, you know, look good, you know, get more stronger, increase your strength. It's just a whole bunch of things that people didn't know they can get from fitness that they're getting. Yeah. And that's what's really causing the stir, and people believing that, you know, this is a real cure for stress. This is a real cure for depression.
So you know? Just to answer your question specifically with the scientific aspect, right? So it'll affect your hormones, right? So if you're a male, at a certain time of your life, it can increase your release of testosterone, right? Which has been associated with better mood, better vitality, better strength, and subsequently leading to better outcomes in general, right? And with females, for example, it can change the balance of the type of hormones that are in your body. Okay. Thereby making it more conducive to, you know, maintenance of the female reproductive system. I'm trying to avoid to go into too specific, it'll end up being a science lesson, right? So,
I didn't come here to learn.
And then obviously from the inside, like if you're making favorable changes to your body, it's a symbiotic process, right? Like you feel better, and it just feeds into itself. And those hormones that you release, like the endorphins, are chemically active on the reward centers of your brain, right? But like I said, it's multi-system, which is why people tend to say, okay, it just works overall. But we could break it down system by system
And
show you sort of a cellular level what happens.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, if you're feeling good and looking good and feeling your best, then you're sort of doing the job.
There's a good sign to it. Cass, really quick, we'll take a tweet.
Okay, so now that we've been speaking a lot about working out, I have a question, and it says, should pre-work be used before working out? So maybe our experts can speak a little bit on this, and Claire can tell us if she's ever tried it and is it beneficial?
That's a good question.
Do you guys ever follow any gym meme accounts or
Yeah.
gym humor stuff?
Yeah.
Like anybody's on it, we can't talk about a show called No Filter and not talk about IG. Like,
You can, no, we are. Our next segment after the break is on social media, so you can lead into it.
So like
Go for it.
pre-workout is a big topic of a lot of like gym jokes,
goers, yeah.
right? Like there's the before pre-workout and after pre-workout.
Yeah.
So the question was, should you take pre-workout, right? So let's take it from an experiential point of view. Like, what do you thoughts on that?
Pre-workout, I mean, if you are pre-workout for me, okay, so here I've taken pre-workout.
Okay, so James, from a base level, explain it to our viewers that may not know, what is pre-workout?
So pre-workout is something that you kind of take to aid in giving you a little bit more of an energy source before you work out. And you know what? I've seen pre-workouts from just being caffeine. Caffeine is a pre-workout, right? And so caffeine, it just gets you jolted, gets you ready, gets you amped. Just go in there and just make sure that you push through all your sets. But at the same time, nowadays pre-workouts are just becoming more and more like almost like a chemistry experiment, right?
Yeah.
So it's you look at the back and you're just like, what in hell is going on here, right? So a lot of the pre-workout ingredients can be good for you in the sense that they can help you aid in, but they can also get into a situation where you become addictive to it.
Okay.
Right?
Dependency.
So because the dependency is because you feel good.
Yeah.
And some of the one of the first pre-workouts is, and this is the fine line that we walk in. One of the first pre-workouts was known as Jack 3D, and it was actually banned. As soon as it came out, it was really popular, and it was banned because it had a plant by the name of germanium, and research after that the product came out found that germanium actually acts much like an amphetamine.
So there's
a mood
quality,
booster, right? And so
You
people
crave
can
it.
get addicted.
Yep. I want to
right?
feel good. I want
and so
that feeling.
And that's why pre-workouts are such a big thing, because you go into the gym feeling like $1 million. You're gonna go in and attack those weights. That's why kind of pre-workouts is a big deal, right?
Okay, on the other side of the break, we're going to go into the famous world of fitness if you live it through social media, such as myself, the 6-day, 6-pack abs that I'm going to get. So stay tuned, everybody. We will ask both of them what they think about that and if it's actually made a difference to your clients. Do they actually come in with these myths? Stay tuned, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. We are now going into my favorite topic, which I know is so controversial, fitness in the world of IG, social media, Twitter, Facebook, all these things. Back in the day, in my parents' time, it used to be like the magazines that you'd buy, and you'd pay for like the fitness magazine $5.49, and it was like a big deal. And now no one's doing print. We're all just going on IG and following like 30 fitness things. And every morning, as I'm having like a latte, I see like the kale smoothie sponsorship ad, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should have taken that. So
That does not sound good in the slightest, though.
yeah, but that's what's marketed. As people in this industry, day in and out, this is what you eat, breathe, and sleep. I know for you guys, probably social media is like the death. It's like for people planning weddings, Pinterest is just the death for wedding planners. What's your take on this?
So regarding supplements, I think just before we get into any of that, we just have to know regarding supplements, it's not regulated at this point. So meaning, say for example, you wanted to buy Tylenol, right?
Yep.
So the development of Tylenol and then saying that it does this is a very long and strict process.
But it has been regulated, for example.
Yes, it's regulated by government sanctioned standards, right?
So FDA.
But with FDA for the states and an equivalent body here, right? Health Canada. So with supplements is a lot lower threshold. Like I could launch a tea today and claim it has XXY properties, and it's just a lower threshold.
Okay.
They're working on tightening it, but it's being exploited a lot at this point. And, as millennials, like we're still some of us are just starting out working, some of us are still in uni. You don't have that much money to throw around, right? Yeah. So
and you don't
It's
have a
two
lot
things.
of time.
So yeah, so you got money on the line and safety on the line, right? For example, with the pre-workout thing, if you take pre-workout regularly without a break, it can severely damage something called adrenal glands in your kidneys, right?
And people don't know that. They walk
Yeah.
into the store, what's my pre-workout? What do you have? What's my muscle mass? What's
Hey.
my powder? What do I take, right?
And that's kind of the thing, right? When people come up to me and they say, "Hey, listen, what's 3 YPM do?" Right? And I'm just like, I've never even heard of this thing. Right?
Yeah.
And so, and when you start researching it and you start reading it, unless you have a good background in peer-reviewed articles,
Yep.
scientific articles, and you can go through backgrounds, you can go through conclusions, and look at the procedures and everything, you really are just pretty much a marketer's dream at that point, right? So that's the problem with the general public. So when people tell me that this supposedly works, one of the best exercises that we actually did in high school was what really put me on this path of trying to find out what is going on. And my science teacher took out articles of like cancer, like every other week there's a cancer cure, supposed cure that comes on Toronto Star back in the days. And so we took the Toronto Star article and we would highlight all of the maybes, supposed, could be's. And by the end of it, this article didn't tell me anything.
Yep.
It was just a sensational article about maybes, right? So that's what kind of is driving the industry in the fitness world right now as well. These whole the articles on articles of maybes, supposedly, could be.
You hit the nail when you said it's a marketer's dream, because now you don't have to hit print. If I have Instagram promotions and I have a budget of $20 a month, 600 posts across, a targeted audience, and my self-created supplement that got regulated.
Yeah.
It's so easy for even 20, 40, 50, 60 kids to come across and be like, oh, I'll try this out.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm happy you guys are here, because I think millennials and fitness, we've kind of forgotten to just go down to the base roots of what we're actually doing to our body. We're more obsessed with consuming things.
What's the deal in high school? A lot of people taking supplements?
I haven't been in the trend lately as of since because I've been to the gym. Maybe you could say a little bit more about that?
Well, I'm in first year university, but I've seen a lot of supplements. Like all the guys are getting into university. Yeah, I gotta get jacked for first year, So everyone's trying out a lot of different things.
Look, I'm not gonna just knock all supplements. A lot of them work, and they, depending on your goal again, right?
Yeah.
Like if you want to put on X amount of mass and do this, so on and so forth, that is quote unquote requires extra effort and therefore extra input, right? So you might need some help with some of these
But
supplements.
Dr. Paul, now a lot of girls are switching to supplements in a different way. Two things. I've met a lot of girls that are taking creatine, which I want to ask you because that's something a lot of millennials on my way here said, can you ask them about creatine? Can you ask them? It's such a discussed thing. I think I even asked you once about it when I came in. And another question I have is things like fat shredders, fat burners before your workout. Girls are taking them now because like, okay, I want to have, 6 months to my vacation. I'm going to Vegas, I'm going to Miami. So for 6 months that I'm working out, I'm going to take a fat burner. What does it do to your body, and do these things, can they actually help?
Okay, so creatine at the baseline is basically something your muscle uses for energy.
Okay.
That's what it is, all right? And it's also a way, us in the medical world measure your kidney function. So we measure how much creatinine is coming out. So if your kidney is leaking too much creatine, it would mean that there's problems, right? So again, just like everything in your body, that if you're putting in something into your body that your body already has, you're playing with the balance of it.
So you need to be careful.
Right? So creatine is shown to, increase volume and give you energy, like I said, right?
It would prolong the sets that you're able to normally do without the source of exogenous creatine.
Because it's helping push it out.
But again, in this context, there's so much variance as to how much to take, what to take it for.
If you need it.
And then there are, of course, like with anything you take, side effects, like if you take it too long.
Speaking of variance, I just have this quick question, right? Like you said earlier, all of these like supplements, all of these maybes, right? That's what I feel like social media is all based around. It's all pushing us a bunch of maybes that might work. And I know like all of these maybes may or may not work, but people are different in their own ways. Like these supplements, right? They could do what they can, but they could have like completely different effects on different people?
Oh yeah. Like I mean, it totally depends on the person who's taking it, right? And it's a very general topic when it's a general understanding almost that everyone is unique. And when it comes to supplements, it's no different. That you have to make sure that, okay, wait, are you on any kind of medication right now? Is it going to be interacting with anything you're taking? Even on a herbal level, is it going to interact with something that you're taking on a herbal level, right? And like people just take, pre-workouts have a crazy amount of caffeine usually.
James, hold your thought. On the other side of the break, we will finish discussing with James this idea, the balance, and we're also going to take our last tweet for #NoFilter. Welcome back, everybody, to our last segment of #NoFilter. Time goes so fast when you're having such a good and engaging conversation. So thank you, guys. And I didn't know that you practice most of the time medicine all the way in Australia. So I'm going to self-proclaim that he flew all the way down for #NoFilter. So thank you, Dr. Paul, for coming.
It's a pleasure.
We're going to take a tweet, but really quick, I want to know, where is MyCure Fitness located?
It's 955 Middlefield.
Okay, so we'll have the address up for those that want to come check it out and start with you. And I'm assuming if they're looking for a 4-week quick body weight loss, wrong place to start.
Wrong.
Okay. So we will take a tweet, and then I want to ask you guys a little bit about, if someone were to come, what are the sort of ways to start? How do they get fit? What are the kinds of things you guys look at when you place people? What are the different programs you have? Because I was looking at your website, and you guys have sort of a different workout, and then there's a strength training, and there were different aspects, which I thought was really interesting. So we'll touch on that. So Cass, can we get one last tweet?
Okay, so our last tweet to wrap up the show is, how are millennials approaching fitness differently than older generations?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
I feel like we're definitely on the verge of we've got to get it done fast, and we've got to get it done effectively.
Pressed for time.
Again, that's why the social trope of media, of maybes, is hitting us hard. It's like, is it gonna get it that? Is it gonna get me there that fast and that easily? All right, I'm in. Get me in there.
You know, one of the reasons why that exists to this level, that this get fast, quick, quick schemes.
We're lazy.
Is lazy. It's just that social media, such as IG. Like you go to one of these fitness guys and they are totally ripped.
Yeah.
And every photo of this is of them getting ripped. They don't have, you can't go deep in their profile and see them trying to get ripped. Do you know what I mean? So
magic.
So that's why.
No, some of them put in there.
Yeah.
Some of them acknowledge.
Some honest
people. Let's not knock all
No.
of it.
So one of the things is that social media, like anything, you take a photo. For example, back in the days when you had to take most of your information from like a newspaper or print media, you knew that print media was staged.
Yes.
Nowadays, that same staging mentality is still applied to IG, but it's not openly said that it's staged.
For some reason, we're not realizing it.
Yeah,
Just,
and
we're
that's
so
what it is. It's
cynical on
very
everything
easy to
else.
overlook it.
Yeah,
Probably
but
because
we
there's so
overlook
much
it.
variety too, as well.
And
there's so many things.
And
you're
that's one of the
overwhelmed.
reasons why we wanted right away. It was like, wait a minute, this guy just posts up, like I see this guy ripped all the time, right? So how can I get that tomorrow? You know what I mean? So where's the process that's going into it? We overlook the process.
So you guys say you have a more holistic approach to working out. So let's say I were to come to MyCure tomorrow and say, I want to start getting active. How does the process begin? What are the kinds of things you guys offer? What's making it different? Where is that holistic base coming in?
I think that for all the clients that come into MyCure Fitness, it's all about kind of getting to know where the client is at in their life, in their lifestyle, right? So just by talking to them, you kind of get a feel of, wait, are they incorporating some of the fitness regimes that they're talking about right now into their lifestyle, right? So it just starts off with a simple consultation, just talking to people instead of, just being like, okay, wait a minute, let me get your measurements, quickly run off a whole bunch of checklists, right? So we don't treat people like a bunch of numbers, and we kind of in a sense, medicate the mind before really just moving into like, all right, lift this weight and tell me how many times you can lift it, right? So just understanding people for people and how they can incorporate a healthy lifestyle into their normal life.
There's like two factors. Like it's small enough that we can essentially customize it, and the way it's set up is like an equivalent product at any of these given bigger gyms is way more affordable.
Right.
And thirdly, the stuff that we're doubling down on in this world today is the knowledge base, right?
Yeah.
So we've got myself, James here, we got Brooke back back, couldn't make it today. He's in the studio.
Yeah.
You know, these are all like people who completed graduate studies in various scientific fields and also doing fitness, right?
So you guys have taken a mix of different people in
Yeah.
this industry that can contribute sort of something different, right?
Yeah.
Pen is mightier than the sword.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sometimes you need the sword too. And again, look, we're a Toronto institution, like so you're not gonna hear like elevator music when you walk in there, like you're waiting at a doctor's office. You're gonna hear some Tory Lanez. You're gonna hear, you know, whatever's good right now. So it's gonna be a place that you like coming to. And
So it's a fun and
yeah, you don't feel like it's a
fun
corporate
environment.
setup, right?
what I think is really cool is that my sister has been coming there for a very long time, and my fiance has also gone there, and I started going maybe I think fully I would say since mid of September. And one of the coolest things that I liked about it is that it's like you said, it's small enough that you feel important, but it's big enough that you know you're part of something. So you know there's that you got to come in, you got to do this, but there's that sort of follow up. You know, I didn't come this week, and you know that someone's going to ask you, hey, what happened? Where are you? You know, and it's nice because it keeps you going, right? In the midst of your busy life, you want someone who's like aware with you, who's alert with you. And I think that that's a great thing. Do you guys want to get ever bigger, or do you guys want to maybe open more locations at a smaller volume such as this in terms of memberships or people?
I think more people should need to know about it.
Okay.
So the more, it would be selfish of us not to expand.
Okay.
Right.
We are out of time on this amazing show. So everybody, thank you so much for watching. You can check out the link directly to their website on our show. You can also follow them on Instagram, MyCureFitness. And thank you so much, guys, for coming. We hope you have a safe first-class flight back since you came all the way for us. Thanks, everyone. See you next week.